Salim, everyone. It's Amatz here. I just wanted to come in to just make a little scriptural commentary, and it's important that we realize that all roads lead back to the words of Yahuwah in His Word. And over the past 7 years or so, or probably even going back a bit longer, when the wicked realized that, things are beginning to play out as the Most High would begin to take judgment upon the lands that we were taken, and to all those who have declared themselves their enemies of Him and the enemies of His people, sorry, that things would begin to happen, because it is written that the earth would stagger like a man drunken. But Yahuwah speaks, and so, over time they would come up with things such as climate change and so on and so forth to confuse and to distract us from the word of Yahuwah. But His word is true, and we see everything playing out in front of us right now. But what I want to say, which is so vitally important, is that we take hold of ourselves, and that we as a nation make sure that we're in a place of repentance and turning back to Yahuwah, because destruction is here, and whether we are ready or not, Yahuwah's prophetic timeline does not wait for anybody. It is going to play itself out. And so we're just going to take a look at a few videos here that really brings into focus what I'm trying to say, and what Yahuwah's words are saying, and why we should bring into focus where we are with Him. The time is going to come that we must be ready, just as our forefathers were when they came out of Mitzrayim the first time. That we are able to see that roots of all of this is being plucked up and destroyed. And so therefore it's not a time for us to be doing anything, to put down any roots, or they will be destroyed and we will be destroyed with them. So you're not going to hear me after this. I'm going to play a couple of videos, and I will see you on the next one. Praise Abba.
Thousands of people have been forced from their homes in Europe as firefighters tackle dozens of blazes in several countries, fueled by a sweltering heatwave. In Spain, nearly 1,000 troops have been deployed to tackle the fires. Temperatures in the Iberian Peninsula are forecast to reach 44 degrees. Residents in Spain are living in fear.
People have already left the village. There's just a few of us remaining, and we are waiting for a bulldozer and firefighters to arrive.
What are we going to do if our house burns? I'm so sorry.
This is crazy. It's absolute nonsense. What's happening makes no sense.
Scientists say global warming is making European summers drier and warmer and is causing more intense fires. In Greece, strong winds are fanning more than 150 blazes as nearly 5,000 firefighters have been deployed. In Turkey, fires have largely been brought under control. Thousands of people who'd been ordered to evacuate are beginning to return home. Satellite imagery shows the extent of the damage in the country's northwest, showing an almost entire forest burnt. Dozens of blazes are still active in Albania and Montenegro in the Balkans.
Europe has been engulfed in scorching 40-degree temperatures, triggering deadly wildfires to sweep across the continent. At least 3 people have been killed. Here's what we know so far. Forest fires are continuing to rage across southern Europe, with 152 new fires breaking out in Greece over the last 24 hours alone. This footage from Tuesday evening shows flames reaching the outskirts of Greece's third largest city, Patras, as locals look on in horror. People across Greece are battling the flames with buckets of water, trying to contain the blazes. Similar scenes were experienced outside Madrid earlier in the week, when a man was killed trying to save 26 horses from a stable. He was later pronounced dead in hospital after experiencing devastating burns to over 98% of his body. The fires come at the height of Europe's tourist season. In Chios, tourists were rescued from a beach via rescue boats after they became trapped by oncoming flames. On the popular island of Zante, over 15 kilometers of fire fronts are still uncontained. The scale of the blazes has required thousands of evacuations across Europe, with deaths seen in Spain, Albania, and Turkey. In the Villarreal district of northern Portugal, where fires have been burning for 10 days, the mayor has recently pleaded, "We are being cooked alive. This cannot continue." European wildfires have burned nearly 2.4 million acres of land this season, the most in 19 years. Leaving the continent on track for the worst wildfires on record. Experts have said that climate change is causing the heat waves, with wildfires becoming more frequent and severe. Europe is the fastest warming continent, with temperatures rising twice as fast as the global average. In the 20th century, France could expect to see 40-degree temperatures once a year. In this decade, this is closer to 24 times per year. Scientists have warned that these hotter, drier summers are fueling forest fire outbreaks. As temperatures continue to sizzle, officials and scientists are warning that these fires will likely become increasingly common.
Tonight, remote wildfires out west, forcing new evacuation orders overnight as the Gifford fire burns in Central California. But there's good news. Burn scars from a previous fire helping firefighters gain the upper hand. In Utah, the Monroe Canyon fire growing rapidly, the governor declaring a state of emergency.
The odds of us putting it out anytime soon are pretty low, just to be honest.
And in Arizona, that mega fire dubbed Dragon Bravo, burning for nearly a month at the Grand Canyon, has grown to more than 100,000 acres.
This is fire behavior that many of us have never seen before. This is the driest it has ever been in this area, and we've been keeping those records since 1960.
This fire burning so hot, it's creating its own erratic weather system. The wildfire threat comes as 13 million across the Southwest, Texas, and southern Florida are under heat alerts. Temps in Phoenix could climb as high as 115 degrees. The upper Midwest still dealing with wildfire smoke from Canada. Chicago's iconic skyline barely recognizable.
It's weird to see downtown all hazy like that.
Lollapalooza festival goers feeling the impacts too.
Fireworks on top of the air quality, it was kind of like, this is a lot, and my lungs started to hurt.
It comes as the South saw flooding late Friday. In Alabama, this driver pulling an escape maneuver. The half-submerged car appears to be stuck in a flooded parking lot, but the driver behind the wheel manages to drive away.
Dana, what are the other threats tonight?
Well, Jose, there's a slight risk for severe storms in the plains, producing wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour, damaging hail and possible tornadoes. As we head into Sunday, flood watches will be in effect for about 2 million people in the southeast, and air quality alerts from those Canadian wildfires spreading to some in the northeast tomorrow. Jose?
Like much of the rest of Turkey, the Kurdish city of Diyarbakir is sweltering in unprecedented temperatures. During the day, the mercury has hit 40 degrees over the past week, an intolerable situation, according to locals.
We're running away from hot weather from home. We go home and it's hot, and we run out. You see, it's hot outside and we're burning. We don't even know where to go anymore. I don't know what has become of Diyarbakir. We're dying of heat.
Others say it's part of a pattern of increasing heat, one with man-made causes.
There's a huge difference. It seems to be getting worse all the time. Last year it was hot too, but it wasn't as hot as this year. It's different from an ecological perspective too. They're cutting down trees, building dams, plundering nature, burning everywhere. They're doing this on purpose. Nothing burns on its own.
On Friday, Turkish authorities recorded the country's highest ever temperatures in Silopi, 300 kilometres east of Diyarbakir. The hot weather is also bringing now familiar dangers elsewhere in the country. Forest fires are wreaking havoc in the Anatolian city of Karabukh, where 10 villages were forced to evacuate as high winds fanned the flames. Turkey's fourth largest city, Bursa, was also threatened by blazes, which devastated large tracts of vegetation in the surrounding hills. More than 3,000 residents were forced to flee their homes. A total of 6 wildfires have burned in Turkey over the past week. The country's agriculture and forestry ministry says all are now under control.